beautiful fjords, which is amazing. So I'll share pictures on Facebook later, but this was completely unexpected. We did not think we were going to go through here. And we also, because the itinerary did not say anything about going through, this is Prince Christian Sound. And also, it was complete fog until we literally got right to the fjords, and then the fog lifted. So it was amazing. It's just beautiful out there. We've seen already three glaciers and tons of icebergs and lots of waterfalls, and it's very beautiful. Okay, Linda, do you want to start with what you've got going on?
Sure. So, for marketing, kind of wrapping up Christmas in July. The ads have a little bit longer to run. So we've seen some forms coming through for those. I don't know how those have been translating as far as bookings or at least brand building for future bookings. But we'll take a look at that once the campaign has run. We just started a Royal Caribbean retargeting campaign on Google. So that'll be up and running, and that is going to drive to, I will share the page with you. So we have a landing page for Royal Caribbean. So it'll look like that, the landing page that they end up on, and then there's like a carousel, and it's basically they'll click through to what they're interested in, whether it's exclusive rates, deals, or learning more about Royal Caribbean, and then it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. As they land here, it'll continue to retarget them.
Ultimately, they're going to hit a page that's going to ask them to reach out to us.
Well, the first thing will be, yeah, because the campaign is basically like same cruise, better price. That like you can go on Royal Caribbean, but if you book through us, you're going to get a better price, right? So it is a value-driven campaign for this one. So it'll be exclusive rates, deals, or learn more about Royal Caribbean, and every single one of those pages has a direct call to action to reach an agent, like to contact an agent.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, I can add a like contact an agent. I just feel like you might get a lot of just like general
Oh no, I'm saying
inquiries.
all those pages say that.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. We're also working on luxury, hard at work behind the scenes. So that's exciting. And we're meeting with the luxury group after this call. So we've got that going on. And then we have Azamara coming up next month as Supplier of the Month, and there will be a lot of promotion around that because they've been quite generous with their dollars and cents for co-op. So we'll have a good marketing campaign for that. Tina's e-news is going out tomorrow, where she talks about the price of travel and that, yes, it's expensive and it's not going back. So that is going out tomorrow. What else is going on? We have Cruise Chat coming up at the end of the month. Again, we're going to really be launching luxury at the end of the month. Fingers crossed, everything will be done. There's still a lot to get the website ready, but we're all working on different stuff, whether it be content or layout or design. And again, we'll touch base on that with the luxury team after this meeting. So all the agents should now have their weekly kind of post, whether it's Wanderlust or Shipfax or Food and Beverage. Those should all be should have all received those from Holly and sorted out how you want to do that, whether you want to post yourself or do your own graphics, or whether you're having Holly put together the weekly graphics and send them to you. So those should be up and running. We've set up an e-news list for celebrity river cruising. So once we have some information, then we can target those people who've signed up directly, in addition to obviously.
I do have a hard date, but the hard date has moved twice, so take this with a grain of salt. But the hard date is the end of August.
Okay. Okay. So yes, we have an e-news list for celebrity river cruising, so that'll hopefully give us a nice little jump
How many
on.
people do we have on the river?
Let me just check. I think it was around 43 last time I looked.
It was what?
Around 43 last time I
Okay.
looked.
I think what we might want to do is, as soon as we get the word, book the cabins and then reach out to the people because Liz, one of my whales that I have is on this cruise right now. She wants the biggest cabin on the river. So, but we're competing with, so Celebrity has now 150,000 people signed up for their Celebrity River e-news. And we're talking
More
about
than us.
two ships at 200 people a ship. So, I think we're going to have to just go in and book it and then ask people to make deposits. First come, first serve. Here's what we booked. So we'll have to figure out how we do that communication because it's going to have to be very timely if we get anything at all. Like basically Celebrity already knows they're not going to have any problem selling out for years.
All right. Well, that should be fun.
Oh yeah. It's like when the Icon came out, it was nuts.
Okay. So that is kind of where we are at with everything. We've got September is going to be Disney Supplier of the Month. They're really not coming to the table with anything, but we want to get them on board and their BDM on board with us. So we'll be doing some stuff around that, but they're not bringing money to the table or anything like that. So we'll probably have some giveaways, and we'll do a webinar. He's agreed to that, and he'll talk to our team. But yeah, he's not at this point. We're not a big enough player to warrant
That's the
him.
Disney way.
That is the Disney way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming in September, and then October will be Virgin. So
Okay.
the next few, and then the 2 months after that are obviously our own kind of Black Friday and Christmas.
And just to before I forget to tell you, Linda, I think Celebrity is looking at January again next year. They asked me, and I said I thought January was a great month for them.
Yep,
because it is
great.
the kickoff of wave season.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll have to look at Supplier of the Month. We'll obviously evaluate what worked and what didn't work and what we can bring to the table for 2026. I can't believe we're already thinking about that, but
Mm-hmm.
but that'll be on the table, and we'll reach out to our reps. I usually touch base. I mean, I always touch base with them after the fact, and we give them their reports with their numbers and everything else. But we'll start probably touching base, I would say, in November to book up those.
And not surprising, we are getting a ton of emails this year going, "Holy cow, look at your sales." I'm like, I've been telling you people this, our sales have not tripled. It's just that you're finally seeing us without the umbrella of Nexion. So I think we've surprised a lot of suppliers this year. I actually think we have got ourselves a BDM now with Princess because Christine Kelly, I think, is a true BDM. She used to be our BDM. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's a true BDM. So, and we are meeting with her in a couple of weeks just to do a quick intro. And so, yeah, that should be good with Princess. Okay. Anything else, Linda?
No, I mean, I think that's kind of it, the day to day, obviously. But yeah, that's where
Hmm.
we're at.
Okay. So I don't know that Kayla would have had anything to update you guys, except I'm not sure if I'm sure she has told you this recently, but one of the things that we're struggling with is when agents specifically have problems and who they reach out to. So I just want to go over it again in case Kayla hasn't been clear about it. So um, when when a promotion comes in to the agency, that marketing takes the promotion. So marketing takes the promotion, they add it to the offer sheet. They're the ones to share it with you guys through, the offer sheet and giving you the email with the T&C. And it lays under the hands of marketing until it touches a client. So now, as soon as it touches a client, now it becomes a sales job. So that's where Kayla takes over. So Linda and Kayla have worked very hard together to make sure that they are sharing information seamlessly. But as soon as it gets to a client, it becomes a sales job. So if someone's missing an OBC, or you have a question about something about someone's booking, that's always Kayla. So it's not Noonie, it's not Tanya, it's not Linda. It's always going to be Kayla. If Kayla needs to reach out to somebody else, then that's fine. But that's her to do that. And so that way we don't have, I mean, double, triple people looking up the same thing. If we always just have one person in charge of, and we all know that Kayla is an amazing problem solver. So she's the right person for that. Okay. So I asked you guys if you guys had any wins and nobody said anything. So I'm going to ask you again at the end of this meeting, but I'm going to tell you what my wins were this week, which were pretty exciting. So one, we had yesterday, we signed a contract with Salesforce. So that was extremely exciting. Salesforce is kind of the be all and end all in the CRM world. It's the beast. We were able to negotiate them down probably about 40%. So I got on the phone with the guy yesterday and he said, "What do I need to make this happen?" And I gave him a number and he said, "Okay, you'll have your contract by the end of today." So that was pretty exciting. So I signed it yesterday. We've already signed with our Salesforce consultant. He quoted me last week and I'd already signed with him to take care of us to get it all set up. So we're looking at a 12-week turnaround to get everything up and running. I still have a lot of questions. You probably still have a lot of questions. Some of you have been asked to fill out a survey. So if you haven't done that, send that in ASAP. We're actually going to be having a marathon meeting on Tuesday of next week, where I think there's going to be 5 or 6 of us on it. And then as time goes on, we'll be doing bi-weekly meetings. Is that right? Where we do 2 meetings a week? Is that what it's called? No, I don't know. 2 meetings a week, and we'll be inviting different people in and out of those meetings so that we can get perspective from everybody about what we need from this tool. So it's very exciting and it's going to be very busy for the next 12 weeks. We've got this on the sales side. Marketing's got a lot of really exciting things going on their side with the luxury. So we are all going to have a crazy, a crazy next 3 months. But to beat a horse to death, I'm going to use the word exciting again and just say, like, I'm pretty through the roof about the fact that we were able to make this happen within a reasonable budget with Salesforce. As far as Revelx goes, we sent over a big, massive wish list of everything we want on it. So that's our new booking platform. It's basically Cruise Complete, but it's going to be customized. And Joe, who's running all of the customizations and everything, he said they were meeting about us yesterday and he'll be back to me shortly about the answers to how much and whether things are doable. So we sent over the wish list and just waiting to hear back. So lots of really great things for the future, which kind of ties in then to, I met with Alan and Sandra yesterday from Celebrity. So I didn't know why they called the meeting. And basically, they called the meeting to just say, wow, we can't believe how good you guys are doing. We want to continue and do even further. And what can we do to help support? And I've said, like, Sandra's fantastic. Like, anytime I've ever asked for anything, she's there to offer us whatever we need. So we'll continue to explore opportunities. And I think that Linda and I, as this year goes on, will meet about whether some of these other things that we've, initiated, whether they're working or not, and whether we continue them for next year or we look for different opportunities. But they wanted us to know that they support us 100% and that they want our help. Saying that, they did specifically ask for 2025, which is not surprising because so is everybody else. Everybody at this time of the year is always doing a big push on 2025. Unfortunately, I think this year is worse than most because of what happened with the US. And I asked them if this was a Canadian issue or an overall issue, and they said it's 100%, a Canadian issue. So they have acknowledged and admitted that Canadians are canceled. We're still doing okay. We're up from last year, which really proud and really happy with all of us about that. I think we would have been killing it right now if it hadn't been for this trade war, because we did have quite a few cancellations in the last 6 months. But, it is what it is. We're still growing. So we're very happy about that. And they see that and they're very happy about that. So yeah, so all is good on that end. All right, I'm going to open it up. And if you have a win or if you even just want to bring something up, let us know. Linda, is there anybody in the background that we can't see?
No, everybody is on stage today.
Okay, good. Nobody had any big wins?
That would be crickets.
I know. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my Oceania. So I've been on Oceania a couple other times. They claim to be best cuisine at sea, and I am a little disappointed that it hasn't been better. So we've struggled a little bit with the food and, just the service in general. I think now they know who we are because, the couple that I'm traveling with, they're not quiet about it. They let everyone know when they're not happy. So they've definitely stepped up the service. But yeah, I would say, listening to her talk, and she does, the big suites on Celebrity all the time. She prefers the Retreat over Oceania Suites, which I was surprised. But, so I would say if we're quoting Oceania, maybe we need to look at Celebrity Retreat as well, because the entertainment has been very lackluster on this ship. I mean, I think Azamara is much better as far as entertainment goes in this class. But it's a beautiful ship. Can't take that away from it. And yeah. All right. I can't believe there's been no wins. Nothing. Holly, well, you didn't find a graphic that you loved this week, or?
Sorry. Yeah, we're just grinding away every evening. So I think we're both a bit blurry in the eyes.
Bet. Yeah. I bet.
Holly put together my Travel Tuesday tasty whatever post that we're doing. So that was very nice. So we just put it up. So the first
I didn't see it. Glad you liked it.
One is that's a win.
The first one is out the door.
It's good. Fun looking, awesome. Actually. It's fun.
And Matt, are you going to make everything that you put out to?
Well, so the first one that I went over with Holly, because I was initially going to do Spain, but Holly had told me that Karen had just done a Wanderlust on Spain, so we shifted gears and moved over to Greece because I did a cooking class in Greece. So I focused on 2 dishes that I made in Greece. Now, I didn't put in the post how poorly I made them. I just focused on how much I enjoy those dishes. But that was the focus for this one.
Awesome.
Okay. So
well, if that's all we have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Linda.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Baklava. Makes my teeth hurt just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that and the spanakopita both made with the same pastries. So they taught us all about, how it has to set and when it's at the right pliability to actually make stuff. And mine looked awful, but not as delicious as
I know. When I came home from Greece, it was I craved it.
I sent Holly a picture of Kadri and I from Greece. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and the Costco stuff is just awful. So it's a sad comparison.
I guess you have to go back to Greece.
Or buy phyllo pastry and just make it at home.
We definitely want to go back.
Well, we actually, when we
Yes,
went
they
through
gave us when we did the
Istanbul-
cooking class. They gave us a recipe book, so we have all the stuff that we made. They gave us a recipe book at the
Oh,
end
that's
on
good.
how to recreate it when we got home.
when
There
we
used
went
to
through
be
the
a good
Istanbul
gr-
airport, they have stands and stands of fresh homemade baklava, and it costs a fortune. It was like $50 for a box, but we ended up buying a box.
There used to be a good Greek restaurant on Lake Street in St.
It's
Catharines.
still there.
I don't,
It's
Is
Joe
it still
Feta's.
there?
It's still there. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we order from it once a month.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
Thoroughly enjoyed that. I used to work across the road from there.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's still there.
Seems a lot easier than trying to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually when we got back from our Resilient Lady trip, we invited all our family over and we ordered from there so that we could have the food from there. But we had all the Turkish Delight candies to give everybody because we bought so much of the Turkish Delight. And then we had wine from Greece that we brought home with us. So we provided all the supplement to go with the meal that we cheaped out on and ordered from someone else because we weren't going to try to make it ourselves.
I order from IOS. I don't know if it's in any other city, but we do their takeout every time we have company of 10 people or more. And Lisa just turned her camera on because I bet she's ordered from them. And it is so good.
The one in the Meadowlands?
No, that's just a dessert one. IOS is actually in Hamilton. Yeah, so good. And so basically, when you have 10 people, you order for 5 with IOS, and you'll still have a ton of leftovers. Even at the restaurant, they tell you to order like that 2 people for 1 meal. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy.
Now
All
I
right,
want
yeah.
Greek food.
I know.
Mhm.
Like, dang.
Yeah.
All right. So our
Okay, well, if
luxury
that's all
team
we
is
have-
staying on, right?
What's that?
The luxury team is staying on.
Yeah, we'll stay on. Well, Rick, I'm hoping he's coming soon, but yeah, we can, or maybe we start a new one because this goes up onto YouTube.
Okay, well I can stop the stream.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea,
And-
actually. All right.